So I've always been a very creative child, I would say. I couldn't sit still in school, so I was getting in trouble for just the usual stuff, scribbling and drawing, and it was just always what I was drawn to. And I'm from a pretty creative background too. My father is an artist as well, so it was kind of just a given that that's what I'd go into college to do. And I really enjoyed it through secondary school, especially clothes making and like textiles background, which is the same would be history in my family. Like my aunts in the north would have all worked in shirt factories and things like that. So really strong tradition there. So it was the obvious thing to go to college to do. So I spent 1 year in Galway in maybe 2008, and then I went to Limerick and did 4 years there. And then in 2019, I did my master's in Glasgow School of Art. I'm quite multidisciplinary. I've always had a really strong grounding in textiles. I'm a maker. I'm a lot more three-dimensional than two-dimensional, and I just love texture. I would have made some video work in college, and I still quite like to use video as a format for capturing the live elements of my sculptural installations. So I think that's really important to see them moving. But textiles would be my strongest base. I'm just really, really passionate about it, both about like the craft background and keeping it in a very contemporary sense. Yeah, my work in general, I think is very much inspired by growing up in rural Clare. I'm so into myth, I'm so into heritage. Heritage is so important to me. Like, I love our sacred sites and stuff, but also trying to bring that more into the contemporary within like some of my previous work, like the Shield and the Gig type work I did was about like the Irish female identity, so it's really like bringing it in. And then this previous work that from the installation in K-Fest was very much for me about the environment, because I think that that's just more and more in people's minds. And the more when I spend time over lockdown in Clare and I just saw like the desolate beauty, and then you can compare it to how cities are going and how the world is just burning, I think that made me quite passionate about it. But heritage is vital for me, because I think if we don't know where we come from as Irish people, we don't know where we're going to be going. And it's such a rich, beautiful history as well. So The Land of Milk and Honey is the title of the piece, and it's based on a legend of a legendary Irish cow, of an Irish cow that pops up kind of all over the place, but it's a mythical cow, huge cow. And one of the legends is that the only place that could feed it was near where I'm from in the Burren in Clare, which that just kind of sparked my interest to start with, because the Burren is so barren now. So this is an Iron Age legend that probably very much comes from the conflict of like not industrialization, but the modernization that was coming with the Iron Age, if you know what I mean. So like the fight between farm and tools, essentially. But anyway, she was a big, beautiful cow with golden rings on her, and she had bountiful milk. You could milk her, and she could fill any vessel. So her owner was very proud of this. And he put out a challenge to bring any vessel and she could fill it. And some wily old woman brought a colander, and they milked the cow to exhaustion, and she fell down. And the waterfalls on the limestone hills in Clare always look really milky from all the lime and just the churniness of it. So there's said to be still her milk flowing down. And I found that on the Clare County Library archives that I spent quite a lot of time on. I just thought it was just a beautiful message to it, and the imagery was so beautiful too, the golden rings. And yeah, so bringing in, it was very important that I used limestone in the piece, and then the milk and stool to kind of bring it all in together. But it's very much about just the exploitation of the beautiful resource we're given, that if we're given something, we always have to milk it till it falls down. Yeah. My favourite thing about K-Fest is the camaraderie and the community down there. I've been 3 times. I really enjoyed it all the times. The first time I was there, I was very much lost right out of college and like missing the structure and not really know what I was doing myself. So getting to display work in a really informal and accessible environment was beautiful. And I think just going back down is like going home. It's just such a beautiful space to be in, and the networking lasts forever. It's just really nice to be with so many young, talented artists. I think that's the most important bit of it. So since K-Fest, I've gotten to display in Glasgow with peers of mine that I did my masters with, so that was really amazing. It was so nice to be back with them and to display some new work. And for the future, I think something I really want to do, because I'm so passionate about textiles, is to form a textile collective. So I'm working towards that. I'm between studios right now, but when I gather the right heads that are passionate about it, I think it's something that would be new and interesting to particularly have like young contemporary textile collectors, and that's kind of what I'm working towards till I get a new space. And yeah, it's all good, you know, you just keep doing it. Yeah.